Howdy folks, welcome to Taheton County. We're up here in Iowa. I've been staying at this house here for a few days. It's Airbnb. The price was good, and I don't think there were any bed bugs. But I bought a farm, and we're going to head up there. Basically, old Mr. White, his health failed unfortunately, and he just couldn't farm anymore. So his farm was up for auction, and I was the lucky winner. Took pretty much everything I had. But we got ourselves a farm. We're going to try to make a go of it here in Iowa. I'm kind of new to the area, so I'm still learning my way around. Got my trusty old Chevy here. And we've got our side-by-side. We're going to head up to the farm. We're going to stop by Casey's and get some gas on the way out of town. I think that's it right over there. But yeah, let's head up north. And we need to get things checked out. Need to probably do some maintenance. And then I'm hoping tomorrow to get in the field and get harvesting. Because he does have some crops out. I think it's mostly soybeans, one stand of corn from what I saw. But anyway, let's hop in. Let's get on out of here. Yeah, that looks like Casey's right down there. We'll just go ahead and top off the fuel. Can never have enough fuel. But we got a pretty good selection of equipment up there on the farm. Most of it's pretty old. And it looks like he didn't necessarily take care of the looks on everything, but everything is mechanically sound from what I can see. So I think really we probably just need to do a good greasing, and we can be on our way. So I'm going to get the truck filled up. I'll make sure the Mahindra back there is topped off, and we'll head up to the farm. Alright, we got fuel. Let's head on out. Went ahead and grab some snacks there in Casey's too. I've got some stuff moved into the house, but I'm not fully settled in yet. So, don't know what we have for cooking. Well, here we are. Let's take a look around. He's, in the past, he's had some sheep, or not sheep, cows and pigs here on the farm, and some chickens as well. But about the last decade or so, he's just been doing some arable crops. But it is set up for dairy cows and pigs. So we may look to do that in the future. But we're going to start out with just arable, and like I said, we've got some crops to get in. So let's get the side by side off. Ease this down off of here. We'll take a little look around here and let's check out some of the equipment. I think I forgot to put the tailgate up. Here we go. I think that must be a silage pit there. But I looked everything over pretty good during the auction, of course. So we've got our nice old combine here. It's in pretty decent shape. I took a look. It looks like it's been well maintained, like most everything. The old 1620, and got a bean head here for it. And there's also a corn head here in the shed. So we're well set up for that. I was up here earlier and I dropped off my plow. I know sometimes, some winters, they get a decent amount of snow up here in Iowa, so we're ready for that. I got the old grain truck here, International. It runs very well. Runs like a sewing machine. And we got our planter here, of course, for beans and corn. The old pig barn. Say it's been a while since there's been any pigs in here, but fairly well cleaned up. He kept a pretty clean setup here, old Mr. White did. Got our fuel stand. I did have the store. Can we see it from here? No, the trees are blocking it. There's an implement store right across the highway over there. They provide a lot of different services. I had them top off the gravity tank here, so we got some fuel here on the farm. Pretty nice swather. Old case 8860. A little worn, but looking around at everything, like I said, it was maintained pretty well. So I expect good things from this old equipment. And I've got our old disc cultivator here. I think the jack stand is broken. Need to look into that. Just kind of sitting there. Been sitting a while, I would say. The tongue's kind of getting into the ground. The old auger here. Like it's a John Deere. PTO driven, of course. Sounds like they're out doing some flying. I don't know what they're doing this time of year. Maybe some fungicide or something. And we got our cultivator here with the applicator, anhydrous. And it is in great shape. I think it must be probably one of the newer pieces of equipment he had here. A couple bale trailers. And we got us a chisel plow here. Again, this is very well maintained. And it's not plowed very often. And we got an old beat up auger wagon here. And we got our tender here for seed and fertilizer. And then we got another gravity wagon. I would say this has had a lot of use. But everything I've looked at looks like it's greased up well and ready to go. So, been taken care of. But let's go take a look at the tractors here real quick. I think he was a Case fan. I think Mr. White was a Case fan. We got our old 786 here. Kind of general purpose with the front loader. And these all run great. They're, like I said, they're a little worn, but I think mechanically he took pretty good care of everything. Then we got the big boy here, the Traction King 2870 case with the dualies, and even got some wheel weights on her. And this stuff all runs great. And kind of our main little field tractor here, the 1586. Old International. I hope those dates are old. The oil filter. Historical. Then we got what must have been his pride and joy at some point. The old Farmall MDV here. Little diesel tractor. And I would imagine he used this to run the auger. It's not much horsepower. But yeah, that's the setup we got. I'm going to get some stuff fixed up. And hopefully we can hit the fields tomorrow. You go back and grab the Mahindra. Run down and take a look at the grain bins. We got another gravity wagon here. This one is in pretty good shape. I wonder if he bought that recently or something. Doesn't look like it's been used nearly as much. So let's take a quick tour of the fields. Now, and we've got a lime or fertilizer spreader in here too that we can throw on the back one of the little tractors. So right next to the farm here, we've got some beans. Not a very big field, but it's close by. And then the rest of the fields are to the south here. Just on the other side of the gravel road. Not get too speedy. You see we've got a stand of corn across the road here. And she's looking pretty tall, but I don't think he got into the field as much as he wanted to. 'Cause this corn could be better. We'll see how the yield is, but she's going to be probably ready to harvest next month. Still looking pretty green. And I think everything else is soybean. These beans here must have been planted a little later. You can see they're not quite ready to harvest yet. Unlike the other field are there by the main farm. Showing on down there, you can see the grain bins. He's got a corn dryer. And then a setup there for beans in the other one. And there's a little bit of a bean field down here by the bins as well. Got an old dairy barn here next to us. That's not my property. Basically, the property ends kind of just right across the creek here. The creek basically splits it, except I've got this little sliver on this side of the creek here on the south side. And then common access here. That's not my weather station or anything. That's somebody else's set up there. But this is the old man's bins. And like I said, we got a corn dryer. And I believe it's just about out of propane. So we'll have to be looking into some propane. Getting that delivered. And we got our bean storage here. And then one more decent little stand of beans. Then one of my favorite spots on the farm, we'll go take a look at that real quick. There's a little field tucked away down in the woods by the creek. We'll take a look at that. A little bit of a drive back in here. You see we're between the fields here. Nice big old field of corn and beans. These are kind of the two main fields right here. Then we get back in here. Like I said, it's kind of tucked away. Watch the train roll past. Lots of people harvesting, getting the grain shipped out this time of year. And yeah, we got a little bean field right back in here. It looks like these are ready to harvest as well. So we've got two bean fields. Yeah, those feel pretty dry. We could run a moisture test, but they look about right. So, nice little field back in here. It's nice and peaceful, too. Might have to get me a fishing pole, go down to the creek here. See if we can snag a blue or a channel cat or something. We'll go under the railroad bridge. That's the safe thing to do. Well, we're going to get wet. There, we got a nice little river view. It's nice and quiet down here, except for the trains and the planes. But anywho, that's an introduction to the farm. If you're new to the channel, I like to do a little bit of role play, but I don't take it too seriously. I like to have a little bit of a backstory, a reason for doing what we're doing. And that's kind of the backstory. Old Mr. White, unfortunately, his health went bad, and it worked out for us. We got the farm at a pretty decent price at auction, and we're going to make a go of it here and have a little fun. Thank you for watching. Hope you come along for the rest of the journey. That'll be it for this one. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next adventure.